Morning, students. Today we are going to do the poem The Tale of Custard the Dragon. It is written by Ogden Nash. He was an American poet and he is famous for his light verse. Even always his poetries are very humorous, and he has even received the Sarah Joseph Hale Award in 1964. The poet in this poem tells us about a little girl whose name is called Belinda. She owns many pets, namely a black kitten named Inky, then a grey mouse whose name was Blink, the yellow dog whose name was Mustard, and a dragon whose name was Custard. Now the poet here in his poem has told us that all the characters of the poem were very brave, except for the dragon, who is very scared, who is a coward, कायर जिसे आप लोग बोलते हैं. But in the end, the situation changes. The dragon becomes big. He faces the pirate where no one has the guts to face him, and then he quickly changes his thoughts and describes himself to be most powerful, and it is really very confusing for all of them. Now, in this poem, The Tale of Custard the Dragon is a ballad. Now, see, what is a ballad? Ballad is a long poem where you narrate about someone. Sonnet is where you use, which is a poem of only 14 lines. Elegy is a sad poem, but this is a ballad, and it is also humorous, and it tells us about the coward dragon called Custard. Now, Belinda had pets, which was a mouse, which was a dog, which was a kitten, and Custard the dragon. Now, all of these were said to be very brave. But dragon, he is like very timid, very weak, he's scared of everyone, and so hamesha he wants a safe place for himself to hide and all. Now when pirates, now who are pirates? Pirates are the sea robbers. When they enter the house of Belinda, all the other pets and Belinda, they all get scared and they all go and hide themselves. But everyone was very surprised when dragon, he comes out, he faces the pirate very bravely, and he eats him up also. Everybody is very happy. All of them thank the dragon to save him. And they realize that they should not have made fun of the dragon. Because if you see, in reality, he was the one who showed himself brave and he handled the situation in a very better way. So, it is this poem, through this poem, the poet wants to tell us that the actual hero is the person who in the toughest situations of life shows himself to be brave. Let's start with the explanation with the poem. Belinda lived in a little white house with a little black kitten. See, the first opening scene of this poem is where they show Belinda's house and her pets, the kitten, the grey mouse, the yellow dog, the red wagon, and the really trilio pet dragon. So these all things are shown in this first stanza. In the second stanza, we come to know the names of her pets. The name of the black kitten is Ink, the name of the grey mouse is Blink, the name of the yellow dog is Mustard, because it is yellow in color and as bright as the mustard seeds, and the dragon, whose name was Custard, who was also a coward. In the third stanza, it is the description is given that the dragon has big sharp teeth, it has spikes on the top of him and also scales underneath his body. His mouth is like a fireplace because the fire keeps on coming out, and smoke comes out from his nose, so that is why it is said that it was like a chimney. And the word realio trilio daggers on his toes means his toes were his feet. They were very sharp, just like a knife, that is like a dagger. Stanza 4th. It is sure that the Belinda, the girl, she was very brave, her inner strength. And in this poem, like the poet explains us the strength and the bravery of the various characters. Belinda was brave like the group of bears. Blink and Ink were brave and they could hunt the lions. Mustard was also brave like the tiger, but they said that Custard was a coward and he just demanded for a safe cage. He wanted a safe place. Stanza 5, that Belinda used to keep on striking the dragon in a very cruel way. Ink, Blink and the Mustard, they used to make fun of him and call him Perky. Perky was a knight, but he ran away because he did not have the courage to face others. So they used to tease the dragon while when he was sitting in the red wagon. The poet says that Belinda used to keep on laughing loudly and a whole voice echoed in the house. Blink the mouse also used to laugh and make a sound of weak. Ink and Mustard, they would keep on teasing the dragon, and Custard would just sit and he would just say that I want a nice safe cage. He would just cry for that. Suddenly, one day they heard a very nasty sound, and when that sound was heard, they felt that someone was entering, and that is why the mustard growled, means he barked, and even the kitten meowed. And suddenly what they saw, that through the window a pirate jumped in, and Belinda was very scared and all the others were also scared, because pirates are the people who rob ships. The pirate had a pistol in his hand, and he also was holding handguns in both his hands. He also had a little sword, and that sword was between his teeth, and he had a black beard and his one leg was made of wood. This shows that the pirate was a disabled person, but still everyone was scared of him, all the pets, the characters of this poem. Though, if you would see, the pirate was good for nothing. He could not harm anyone because he was a disabled person. When all these people saw the pirate, they got very frightened. Belinda was so frightened that she became yellow because of the fear, and she started crying for help. Mustard, the dog, it also started crying for help. The kitten, Ink, she ran away towards the bottom of the house, and the mouse, Ink, ran into his little mouse hole. So everyone ran here and there and they hid themselves to save themselves. But suddenly something surprising happened, something shocking happened. When all these characters who said that they were very brave, they were so frightened and hid away. But Custard the dragon, he did something unexpected. He jumped onto the pirate and he made a strong sound with his nose, like how when the engine produces a sound, that way. And he also hit his tail on the ground, which gave a clanking sound, and he went towards the pirate. He attacked it, and then, just like how the robin bird attacks his worm, in the same way he also attacked. The pirate was really very shocked on the dragon's reaction, and when he opened his mouth wide, he drank some alcohol to gather strength, and after gathering some courage, he fired 2 bullets on the dragon, but he missed it, and Custard the dragon instead caught hold of the pirate, put him in his mouth and ate him. उसको खा लिया, और क्या हुआ, उसकी मौत हो गई. When the pirate was dead, Belinda, she came running and she hugged the dragon. Mustard also licked him, and no one was sad about the death of the pirate. They were all very happy. Even Ink and Blink, they also showed their happiness going round and round the dragon. So the poet tells us here how everyone was happy and everyone was showing their gratitude towards the dragon who had helped them. But suddenly, after thanking and showing their love towards the dragon, again they changed their mind. And then they started again, because why? They were reminded of the fun they used to make. And the dog, what he answered? He said, Master said, this all happened because of confusion. Otherwise, I have been brave 3 times, as twice as Custard. Both Ink and Blink also said that they had also shown bravery 3 times. So the dragon said, yes, I agree with y'all. Y'all are braver than me. Everybody is braver than me. I am a coward. I am not so brave. And Belinda, at last in this line, it is shown that the dragon was the hero when all the other characters still undermined him by saying that they were more powerful than him and they could have handled the situation in a better way. So Belinda still lives in that little house with the Ink, with Blink, with Mustard, with Custard, and they say that they all are very brave, whereas the dragon is still a coward and he keeps on crying and always saying that he wanted to stay safe in his cage. Now the literary devices that are used in this poem is, first of all, rhyme scheme. The rhyme scheme of the whole poem is AB, AA, BB, CC, DD, like house, mouse, wagon, dragon. Then repetition is used, that is, use of the word little is used many times. Same way there are many other words which are repeated again and again. Another word that is used is a oxymoron. Now what is an oxymoron? Oxymoron is the use of 2 words which have opposite meanings. One side they talk about a dragon who can never be as a pet, but it is said pet dragon, means both opposite meanings. A pet is there, and who is the pet? The dragon. Anaphora. Here there are repeated use of 2 words, 2 consecutive lines, and a little and a rialo, and a little and a rialo. That's how. So that is why it's called anaphora. Refrain is the repetition of a sentence which has been used again and again in the whole paragraph, in the whole poem, the ballad. Mean and realio, trailio. Then is the poetic license. Realio means for real, trailio means for true. These spellings have been a little changed because to give a musical full effect. That is why it is called poetic license. Simile, you know, that dog is compared to a mustard, and the little yellow dog was sharp as mustard, because here the use of word as is done, or if the word of is done like, then it's a simile when comparison is done by using like and as. Metaphor: chimney for a nose. This house, the nose is like a chimney, so chimney for a nose. That is why here it is a straight comparison, so that is why metaphor it is called. Then the allusion, that is reference to any person or place, like the dragon has been referred to the knight Percival. So here allusion has been used. Then personification, where ink, blink, mustard, they rudely called him Percival, means the dragon, the animal, has been personified to a knight. Onomatopoeia, that is the usage of sound words to create a dramatic effect, like giggled, weak. There are many other sounds in all through the poem. Alliteration: beard was black. B. He held his. So here you have seen be, beard, black, consecutive words have been used, so that is why it is called alliteration. Then imagery. Imagery is when an image is created about the appearance of the pirate. Means here imaginary thing is used, that a pirate comes, and the actions and all that what have been used in this poem, their imagery is used. So we end up with a poem here.